I'm trying. All right, let's see if I get multi ball. I'm just gonna get one. What's the ramp? That's it. Ah, it fell out. Ah. It's gonna stay in. Jackpot. Lights I gotta hit. There's one. That's no way to get two. That guy. Alright, now I gotta run the ramp one more time for multi-ball. Flipper is the key. All right, multi-ball. Here it comes, man. Nice and dispatch.
Proof of less joint pain. And
There we go. 3 balls. Was that close? All right, one more ball.
that's right. Subway's open, serving footlongs contact-free. Order in the app for quick and easy pickup. Get contact-free curbside pickup. Staying home? Get delivery. So many ways to get footlongs contact-free. Subway. Eat fresh.
That's it. That's game. They don't break 6 million. Yeah, look at the high score.
Of the arms, total control, tackle for loss.
Mark, you still there?
That is exactly what you want.
I give you a tour of this whole machine. The whole thing.
The Giants have converted 3rd and 6 twice in this opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Now they face 3rd and 13. Boy needs to get to the Browns 40. Got some time. Going to be about 4 yards short with Evan Ingram. Joe Judge has been aggressive with his decisions here tonight. And he's going to be aggressive again. Offense stays out on the field.
At the very least, you're going hard count, and boy, that's a tough one right there because Sheldon Richardson is the heart and soul inside.
Now the Giants will fire drill the punt unit on. The Browns will have a chance to get whoever they would like on the field as the Giants change. Mitchell comes to stand over the ball. Donovan Peoples-Jones goes back to receive the Riley. Dixon punt. Riley Dixon, one of 2 punters in the NFL from Syracuse. The flag down. Ball is up 10-yard line. We'll check the flag.
Cleveland is just... Browns just killing the
1
Giants.
assist penalty in that first half. CJ Ford, the gunner.
Mark, we can set up asteroids on camera. The problem is the average game time is Asteroids comes up on video pretty well.
They're 0-5, perhaps again.
So few drives in this
I
game.
haven't now been
Ordinarily, you
into
get
the
about
arcade
12 possessions
past
each
4
in an
aces
NFL
by the
game.
door,
What has it been?
so it's a
Four?
little trickier to run a
42.
line to. I've got extension cords,
It's
USB
a long
extensions on
drive.
the
Baker
cameras,
Mayfield,
but I don't have them that
10+
long, so
play
I have to
drives,
rethink the whole setup.
You're gonna have to put together another one.
They decide this is a foul or not. Sit.
During the kick, illegal block to the back by the receiving team, number 20. This penalty will be enforced half the distance from the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
As we head towards Christmas
So-
time in New York City. Another one.
High speed, one of my favorite games. It was probably the first action modern pinball I owned. I started with 4 Aces. Those who grew up with me in Long Island knew that. And when I got back into 4 Aces, after Buck Rogers, I was given Buck Rogers as a gift by a friend named Todd Mail, who's since passed away. When Todd lived up in Sterling, Virginia, he gave me Buck Rogers because he knew I had a background in pinball. I then got 4 Aces from a dealer in Tennessee, so I could relive my youth, and from then the collection just expanded. And the next game I got was High Speed. Got it. We went camping in Columbus, Ohio, with Mike Kent, and on the way home we stopped in Akron, Ohio, and picked it up. It was right off of the route. It had 55,000 quarters through it. That's what the memory had. 55,000 quarters since its last reset. It was at a campground, and I've got pictures. It was destroyed. The play field, the playing surface you see in the video, that's what's called a hardtop graphic. So that's actually a Mylar reproduction graphic. I sanded the playfield down to the bare wood, took everything off of it, and then applied that graphic and then built it back up. So that's actually a reproduction Mylar graphic, which I love. The purists don't like it. I don't give a shit. I love it. Because it plays really, really slick compared to the wood painted playfields, and it doesn't wear out. I've got it with an extra coating of Mylar over it, polished. It's super slick. But it was really the first complex machine I had to learn. A System 11 machine is more complicated than the Buck Rogers, which is a Gottlieb System 1. So I had to spend a lot of time getting back into component electronics I'd been away from for many years. It's a true microprocessor design, pulling all of the voice, all the sound, and all the game rules from ROMs. Unlike Buck Rogers, which is microprocessor based, but it's just basically game rules with synthesized sound, so it's not nearly as complex. It was easier to get working. So getting this machine off the route was something else. The playfield, the top third of it, was so destroyed that the operator had gone in with Sharpies and just recreated the graphics with colored Sharpies. It looked like a 3-year-old had done it. So sanding it down to the bare wood and building it back up was just terrific. Over the years, I've had to do a lot of work on machine bulletproofing, and System 11 machines break down a lot if you don't take the extra steps to bulletproof them, which is a lot of electronics work, a lot of mechanical work. They're just not durable left to themselves. If I just let it run for hours and just let people play the hell out of it, it'll be broken in no time, a little bit and then a lot. So I love System 11 machines. I own several. Cyclone's a System 11 machine, and they're great to work on. Once you understand them, it's sort of like driving a performance car. Once you've got it figured out, you can dial them in, you can protect them for your style of driving or play, and they'll just keep coming back. So I bulletproof my System 11 machines to do everything I need them to do. I must be talking way too far away from the correct mic. I don't know which one's on mic. I don't know, it might be this one. I just looked down and saw that mark. Let me see where the mic is. How's that? Yeah, that's probably the overall mix right there. If I jack it up like that. Does that help?
Hopefully that brought it up. Let me see if I can do a sound check without feedback.
Yeah, that's probably the overall mix.
Yeah, I just heard my voice come through. Yeah.
Jack it up like that.
So I'm using, there it is. So I'm using OBS, which is a restreaming package, and it's got a mixer in it, and I hadn't tuned the audio. So there we go. So now it'll pick that up. It'll pick up Sunday Night Football as well when I put the volume back up. So high speed is still one of my standbys. It's not dot matrix, it's alphanumeric, and only in the top scoring lines. The bottom lines are not, but it does have voice, and it is a multi-ball. It is a 3-ball multi-ball. You saw me score it. So getting multi-ball in that game requires the player to constantly be able to hit the ramp shot off the right flipper. It can be achieved, believe it or not, off the left flipper through a really weird rebound shot, but I can never plan it. It just happens if there's a lot of energy on the ball and I hit the left flipper just right, it'll bounce off the right side and ricochet up the ramp. It's pretty rare that it'll have enough energy to travel all the way around. The real way to get it is to learn to feed the right upper flipper and just keep cycling that shot. But I have the game set up to play fast enough that it's not the easiest shot. Otherwise, it would be dominated and kind of boring. So all of my machines are tuned to some degree to put more randomness in play, which is what the manufacturers recommended. Prevents the game from becoming very boring. If I could get multi-ball every single time I went over to play it, I'd probably be sick of it by now. And it makes it no fun to play. So all of them are set in some degree to do that. In that game, the object is to turn all of the traffic lights in order, all green, then all yellow, then all red, and then run the ramp twice. When you run the ramp once, it enables chase mode, and that's when you hear the police officers telling me to pull over, and I don't. When I run the ramp the second time, it locks that ball, and then you're fed 2 to 3 balls, depending on how the play works, to then go to multi-ball. After you're fed those, you're in multi-ball. In multi-ball, you're still scoring points, but if you get 1 ball up the ramp, you get the progressive jackpot, which can be anywhere from $250K to $2 million, but no more. So every time the jackpot is scored, it resets to $250K. Every single point you're scoring in multi-ball is feeding the jackpot. If you don't score it, it's saved in memory, and the next player or next person to get multi-ball has a shot at it, again, all the way to $2 million. Getting 1 ball up the ramp locks that ball and puts you in hideout mode. If you get the second ball up, they'll both lock, and if you get the third ball up, they'll all come back out again. If you lose any of the balls, it kicks you out of hideout mode. At that point, you have to score the traffic light in hideout mode, each light independently. There's no other way to get them. Once they're all scored, then you're eligible for an extra ball. It's one of the ways to get extra ball. When you hear the horns honking, what's happened is I've run the freeway, which is the shot that runs around the back of the game. When you run the shot around the back in freeway mode, it lights the freeway lights, or if you score the in lanes, it lights the freeway lights. If you score them a second time, while the little flashes are lit, which is pretty almost immediate, it lights the freeway, which does 2 important things. It lights the in-lane kickback resets, these little white lights come on, and it starts scoring lots of points. The in-lane resets are key because in that game, kickback in the far left out lane, if you lose the ball down the far left out lane, you'll see it getting kicked back out. But then the kickback is extinguished. And once the kickback's extinguished, the far out lane becomes a pit where the ball is lost. If you score inside the in lanes, at any point, it relights that. So getting the in-lane shots are really easy. You just simply hold the flipper, the ball will roll forward and backward, and it'll light it. On the sides, 1 through 6, the gears, whichever one is lit will also relight the kickback, but that's random. So you can't always know which one of those are lit, and they constantly change. Every time you hit a pop bumper or a certain feature, those change. So if you plan to relight the kickback by doing that, you have to kind of hold the flipper and aim the shot accordingly, and it doesn't always hit. So lighting the in lanes is key. And the little spot where the ball gets trapped in the upper right, the hideout, every time you land in the hideout, it advances 1 traffic light. So if you're in green, it'll close one of them. If you're in yellow or red, the same thing. When you first start the game, every time you loop the ramp, it also scores a traffic light. So by scoring the ramp during the game, not only do you get a bonus, you also close out a traffic light. After you've gotten multi-ball, the game becomes more cruel, and running the ramp doesn't always close a light. It gets harder to get things done. So the game's designed to get progressively harder the better the player plays. So again, even getting multi-ball doesn't guarantee that you're going to have the highest scoring game. The features in the game become trickier. So what happens is the timings speed up, the ability to hit things, the amount of time they stay lit goes down, making it harder. So that's how this game works. And we'll check back in on Sunday Night Football.
When Baker loads up on one, that was a rocket shot right there. Watch his front foot. His front foot there stays a little pigeon-toed, and he is all hip torque throwing this ball. Watch that front foot. He doesn't open it up like most quarterbacks do. He keeps it real tight. Keeps his hips right around it.
So that just got me all the green lights. Now we're on yellow. That just got me all the green lights. And that was down the middle, so I lost it. So we've got all the greens lit, the yellows are available, and then just simply by shooting up the ramp, I'll get one yellow. By shooting up the ramp. Now what I'm going to try to do is light out lanes. 50,000, I can close another light, down to one yellow. Great shakes there. Yeah, I see the Giants getting their asses kicked. Ah, that's actually got my ass kicked.
No matter who you're with or where you go, it's always better knowing you can get just about anywhere in the Hyundai Palisade with available H-Track all-wheel drive.
Hey! Yeah! I switched the guy going!
Don't hit the camera stand. Don't let him do another thing. I love that. Don't fall off the pinball. Alright. Watch out for the camera. Benjamin Capital usually come visit me when I play pinball. Don't hit the camera. Screw it up. I can't see. I can't see. Ah, I lost the ball. I lost the ball. I love it. Say hi to everybody. This is Benjamin. And Benjamin loves when Daddy plays pinball, doesn't he? Great kitty. Give me a kiss. No kiss? Little kiss? No kiss. Give me a kiss. I give you a kiss. Give me a kiss. I don't believe you. On camera, you're not going to give me a kiss? I'm not going to do it. He's a good boy. Give me a kiss. He gives Finger a kiss. He says, but he's mad at me because he's not going to give me a kiss on my face. Because I took him away from the pinball machine. Alright. Sit hi. Okay. Stand my drink. Stand my drink. Ah, you're going to be fine with that. Loves it when I play pinball. Stay down there. Stay down there. 20 points. That is not my night.
And you end up in a scrum with the offensive lineman coming flying down there. Sometimes I feel badly for the running backs and the receivers because they're stuck in the middle. All right, here come the big doggies and whack. But it works.
I'm going to pause this so it cues up a little bit. I'm trying to keep in touch with the game, and playing pinball screws that up. TVR.
Set up. 3 tight ends and a fullback. 3rd and goal. Shut up. Catch stays left. Reaches the ball out and in for the touchdown. Mr. Fourth Quarter, Nick Chubb, who has worn people out and worn them down in the 4th quarter this year, cashes it in here.
Let's take a look. Did the knee touch? Did anything touch before the ball crossed? The ball clearly crossed. And
touchdown.
No.
Wow. Giants
Actually getting better and better, understanding the replays, straightening the legs. Looks like a diver going into the water.
Chubb touchdown number 10. That is 295-yard drive. Touchdown previous game. Cleveland, first team in the league to do that this year. This one
What's new with ABC Ford and Telemundo 44? Available on your vehicle.
Everybody around them, Indianapolis, Miami, Baltimore, who played today, got a victory. Vegas lost on Thursday. For the Giants, they were trying to get a win here to they take over the top spot in the NFC because they have the tiebreaker, a sweep of Washington. As Steve Quinacki was showing you on Football Night America at halftime, the percentages go way up for the Giants to chance of winning the division. We've got to cut that from down 17 right now. Well, New York, this season ever since this is the whole offensive bad offense. Four offenses in the NFL right here. second scoring. And it's been a while. The Blues have not been this strength. The Giants led one season 2016, the Jets in 2015. But you know, Chris, what happens with the Giants tonight? They won't get the back pain. The back pain on the tablet is guaranteed to the Jets win a game, maybe lose the first overall pick of the draft. Did he stop there? Okay. 25. Boy, handoff. And yes, 2 yards, 2. We're out the mark. Kirkhope, that game already out. Lawrence, well, fabulous. Fabulous.
Where did you come up with anything?
Merry Christmas, Jets fans. You've probably sit on that for a while, right?
Oh my goodness. You know what? It restored my faith in football, though. I will say that. There was so much at stake.
Marsh, the run, he goes down to the Giants. Marsh almost breaks the lead. Stops with 40 yards. Shelter Greg wanted to tackle Michelle.
Well, Browns defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson, we saw him leave the field earlier. He's now been off of the field for about 21, 22 minutes.
The end for the this year. 3rd and 10, Mayfield and Peoples-Jones on the move. Talking about the good draft picks for Berry and the Browns this year. 6th round pick out of Michigan. He continues to step up his role on this team.
Well, I'm going to take this from 2 different angles here. First of all, the offensive line has been fabulous all night. Secondly, as the New York Giants look to build what they're wanting to be, this physically dominant, stop the run the football kind of team, eventually they're going to have to come up with a grade A pass rusher on the edge. You know, that's just going to be a part of it. For Andrew Berry and his group, they went out and fixed the offensive line. That was job 1, and it was an important job, and it has paid huge dividends for Baker Mayfield.
Ball in. Free on the ground, and Kareem Hunt able to jump on it. As the Browns avoid the big mistake, they could have got the Giants back in here inside of 8 minutes left.
Take a look here, Jason Treader with the sort of snap. I've never seen one quite roll off like that, but things slippery, I guess. And Treader knew, you know. And then it's the center never knows what to do. Like run back and try and go get it, or I better block this guy here.
Talk about a second of panic. My goodness. Loss of 6. By the way, that last completion for Mayfield took him over 300 yards. 302 for Baker. And they set up the screen for Hunt, and having nothing to do with it again is Blake Martinez, the star for the Giants on defense. Michelle.
Well, the first thing Olivier Vernon noticed about Kevin Stefanski, you guys were talking about him, was how he addressed the players. Vernon told me, this is my 9th year in the league, and I've had my share of head coaches, but Stefanski's in his 1st year, and you would think he's been around for years. And in this chaos, you can't control things like COVID, but he's done a tremendous job. And Mike Vernon concluded, you know, Freddie Kitchens, great person, but coaching, it didn't work out at Cleveland.
He's on the other side now with the Giants as their tight end coach. Kevin Stefanski has had leadership in sports around his house. Ed Stefanski, his dad, longtime NBA executive, currently with the Detroit Pistons. Carter Coughlin with the tackle on Hunt as we get to 6.5 left here in the 4th, and the Browns will kick it away.
One of the other things that Kevin Stefanski did, I'll tell you in a minute.
Nice timeout.
Chevy can help you get there. Which is why we're making our Chevy employee discount available to everyone.
Chevy Prince is
That's more. Happy holidays in Chevy.
Use the Chevy employee discount for everyone. $6,800 below administration. Get the Chevy employee discount for That's right. Subway is open, serving footballs contact-free. Order an app for quick, easy pickup, or get contact-free curbside pickup. Staying home? Get delivery. So many ways to get footballs contact-free. Subway, eat fresh.
Serious and sometimes fatal infections include tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, blood, liver, and nervous system problems. Serious holiday at T-Mobile, it's not about how far apart we are. It's about how close we can be. So we're bringing out our best deal on the new iPhone 12 at 5G on every plan. Right now, the iPhone 12 on us on every single plan. Switch now and save 20% on your bill. That's the best value in wireless. That's right, the iPhone 12 on us is the largest 5G network. And save 20% per month. It's time to holiday on. It's time for T-Mobile. Christmas comes early when the crew come home. With your family totally Go to watchfoods.com. Friends, your family,
To your teacher.
in that spirit of giving, Chevy proud to give our employee discounts to everyone. The Chevy price you pay and practically pay. She got and giving back. What the holidays are all about. Use the Chevy employee discount for everyone to get a total value of over $8,500 this silver item. Get the Chevy employee discount for everyone today.
fans don't see it. It'll be 9 full seasons of the New York team. We have a major pro sports title. Been a while. Probably playing very close before. It's a game to go tonight. It's complete trying to get it out the schedule.
The other thing, Mike, give a little credit to this Cleveland Browns defense. We've been talking all night about it. They had to go in and play without Daniel Jones, and I understand that, but defensively, they were coming off of it. Pretty rough outing, made some big mistakes against the Ravens and Woods and company. Piece this thing back together, and they've been missing some key parts of the secondary all season.
That Tennessee game, we were talking about Baker Mayfield having a great half. It's the second half for the Titans, then they give up the 47 to Baltimore. That's the man you mentioned. Defensive coordinator for the Browns, Joe Woods.
Yeah, and, but he's been playing without Grant Delpit and Reed Williams all year, who were knocked out in camp, I guess.
Yeah.
So both those guys were going to be starters on this football team, so you have to make a lot of adjustments. They've been living off the strength of Denzel Ward and this defensive line, and everyone else there.
You're expecting those guys to be your starters. Joy pass is complete to the Golden State. First down to the 37-yard line. 6 minutes left.
I'll tell you, they have done everything they can on the Cleveland side to isolate Andrew Thomas against Myles Garrett. And they've done it. They've had lined up people on that side. They've got the one-on-one. But Andrew Thomas has been up to the task.
Spins out to Ingram, and he gets a first down right around midfield. Again, an uphill climb for the Giants here tonight. They're not the world beaters on offense to begin with, but then you have the coordinator change. You have to take the fourth start here. They're playing with a system that is considered more than time.
3 young offensive linemen playing as close as they can. You don't do it without Saquon Barkley reason.
Shot 25 yards. From the 25-yard line.
That's the other part I think we're going to see is a little extra at wide receiver as they go into this draft period because Evan Ingram is as talented physically as anybody playing tight end right now. It'll be interesting to see if they try and add a component part to make some of those easy throws a little easier.
3-score game. Shot of 5 minutes.
I'll have to figure out base another day.
21-yard line.
I'll
I'll tell you, the tempo, when you have a veteran quarterback helps. You know, from the very beginning, Colt McCoy, when they were going like this, they played better.
We have to figure it out. We have to figure it out.
Trying to get it to Shepard. I really appreciate a game like this, what a veteran in the league 11 years old is all about. Because everything we said, once they have practice, but here he is, and you're making all these changes in the line of scrimmage and doing all that stuff. Having success early on, it tells you all that knowledge that's accumulated. You can take it out there at a moment's notice and activate it.
Can you imagine being traded to a team in mid-season? It'd be like walking into school class and never having any experience, right? I mean, you're warning a new lane.
We're getting the lane in the park here with the Giants. He's got the taker. Off his hands and incomplete. Strong hand. 50-50 ball, couldn't bring it down. Fourth down.
Like Kevin Johnson, who has been taken over in the slot position. Save is so good on these 50-50 balls that you almost count like that. When he's in the slot, you're playing man coverage, they're going to throw it. Johnson got his hands right in the way. By moving Denzel Ward back out to his corner position, allowed Johnson to but they're playing slot, he's done a good job.
Giants need to score 3 times, so trying to get the field goal here. Skipping it inside.
Great. Thanks to my new sleep number 360 smart bands. Any other questions? What if I sleep hard?
It's icy cold.
No problem. Something besides. The couples can sleep better together. And when we go sleep faster. Ooh. It's any one of the keys. Look at it now. Switch in. It's like sensing, automatically adjusting. It's comfortable. Up to your part. Very strong service. Ooh. Sleep number. Good quality sleep.
1C.
Sorry, Mark, I can't always tell where the microphone is. I have a couple different cams set up. Maybe this one, maybe this one. I can't have them all maxed out or it'll feed back.
Call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
Hi, you got it.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
Now in one plug, it's spin around. Giants. 14 blows over the cup. What's out of there? A flag, I see some middle of the pipe. It was the rookie got in. Harrison Bryant.
Lost two.
Try to figure out what he's trying to get their attention for.
The result of the play was that the kickoff was recovered by Cleveland. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the Giants. The 15-yard penalty will be honored for the correction. My apologies. The personal foul penalty was against Cleveland. This was after the play was over. It was number 56. It'll be first and 10 Cleveland.
Malcolm Smith.
Pinball right here in the stage. Malcolm Smith, I mean, right, if you're going at it like this, if that ball's free at all, let's take a look and see what it does. Now, if you pull a body off the pile, you're not allowed to do that. I'm not sure he did, but you're going to get called.
Even if you were trying to help the cause.
Yeah, you can't do that. I think Elijah Lee did most of the pulling, but he said, no, it's just... Right here.
The Seattle-Denver Super Bowl and the Pick Six of Peyton Manning.
That was amazing. I was here at the stadium. It was loud.
It was.
That first thing.
The ball being recovered by Cleveland and being challenged by New York.
That's what George Judge is yelling about. You have to see a clear recovery in replay. And rarely do you get one of those type of recoveries turned over. Let's see after it bounces off Bryant. Nate Ebner, who is a special teams star and rugby player, special teams with the Patriots, rugby with the USA team. He comes in there from the side.
You're not going to see it clear anything, though.
That's with every look you can get. All those bodies and legs and gloves and feet and all that stuff. And then they eventually come out of the pile with it. We didn't see that.
No.
Yeah.
No, this is... I'd be stunned if this got changed.
We mentioned Carl Joseph was the one who came down to help out Harrison Bryant.
Terry, what do you think there, big guy?
Chris, once you get that big pile up, you're just not going to have video evidence of a clear recovery. And you know, we've seen... different angles, and it's just a pile of players. There's no clear recovery visually by anybody. This is going to stand.
Hard to see the evidence in there. So Cleveland will have the ball, and the Giants will be with 4:06 left, still down 14. No, and for the Giants here, it's not done in terms of the NFC East hopes. It's been such an odd situation this season in the NFC East.
Ruling on the field stands as called. It's 1st and 10 for Cleveland. New York is charged with a timeout and has used a challenge.
Again, in third, they have one timeout left. So we've guaranteed with today's results, nobody will finish above 500 in the NFC East. The best anybody could do would be 8-8. Next week, the Giants have the toughest remaining game of anyone the last 2 weeks, going to Baltimore to play. Philly and Dallas, the loser of that game next week, will be out of the mix. And they're week 17. Washington plays the Eagles. The Cowboys play the Giants, with the Giants and the Eagles hosting those two to wrap up the season. And someone will be the 4 seed. 41-yard line, just a run for about a half yard for Kareem Hunt. Who's the most dangerous? Who's the team in the playoffs who can give whatever 5 seed emerges some trouble?
Oh boy. You know, Dallas has won a couple in a row here. I
Washington's pass rush?
Washington has a scary good pass rush. You just don't know if they can put together enough offense. They do tend to hang around. You know, we saw them play Pittsburgh and have a tendency to hang around and play good defense and win late. But right now, I think there are better teams in this division will provide.
That helps the Giants in terms of clock management, as that one is incomplete with 3:19 to go and stops the clock. That week 6. Will start on Christmas Day. Our friends at Fox will have Minnesota taking on New Orleans. Saints trying to bounce back. Saturday is a triple-header. Brady goes back to Michigan. The Bucs play the Lions. 49ers and the Cardinals on Prime Video. And then the Dolphins and the Raiders on NFL Network. Now, the out in Las Vegas as the Dolphins stay in the picture. In the AFC, chasing a wild card like the Browns. The Browns fans will have interest in that. And then, of course, the regular slate on Sunday, including Titans-Packers on Sunday Night Football. And then Monday night. Johnson with the run across midfield, picking up the first down. Here's Johnson comes in for a carry, and he picks up where Chubb and Hunt usually make their hay at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, they do. Such a nice job of getting these offensive linemen out in front and taking the angles, right? Just take the angles. That time Jedrick Wills had the angle, so okay, you come down, Antonio, you come around, and I tell you, they can do so much in the way of adjustments on the fly with this offensive line. They are just really good. It's one of the things that I think has impressed me the most about the Cleveland Browns. When you get into the playoffs, you have to find different ways to win, right? You may have a game where you've got to throw the thing 50 times. You may have a game where you have to run it 35 times. And maybe it's your defense that has to come up and make plays. So, and I think the Cleveland Browns under Kevin Stefanski are starting to show some of that ability. At some point, though, you have to go in there. Somebody has to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Patrick Mahomes. You have to possibly put up 40 points, and this team has at least proven they can do that.
Against Tennessee and Baltimore, you see the offensive line has done the job tonight. Sent the Giants down in terms of pressure. Giants trying to pull up the ball. David Mayo.
Tight, and then they stretched it out again.
Against the Lions, who were eliminated. Timeout here by Cleveland as they let.
He threatened to kill the president in a letter sent a month after President Obama was elected. Larson served over a year in federal prison.
A lot of stuff with Baker, though, this year. You know, Alex Van Pelt. And what do? First thing they do is they have him switch which foot is forward. Right foot was forward when he was taking a shotgun snap, then it's left. So that's completely different. They have him run bootlegs. He didn't even run bootlegs in college. They have him run bootlegs to the left, which is a much more difficult thing. He's actually gotten to the point now, at this point in the season, he's more comfortable bootlegging to his left. So he has grown as a quarterback, and I think it's been showing up in the last month.
Giants coming after this one. He'll get rid of it. Nobody back to receive. The Giants get a touchback and get it out to the 20. Here is Kevin Stefanski talking about Baker Mayfield and the accomplishments this year.
Baker is obviously, I think playing at a high level. He doesn't lack for confidence, and I say that in a good way. That's who he's always been, which is great. I think what you're seeing is the comfort level is certainly growing, and that's also goes back to all the work he puts into this. He's a get in early, stay late type of player.
He's taking on that leadership role. You guys had an early Sunday night last year, and I went out to talk to Baker. You just felt everything was, it's going to be right now, and then it wasn't. It's like, okay, is it him? But to the credit of everyone in this organization, they've surrounded him to give him a chance to succeed. And it's working so far. So it passed, it was the edge of the game, was 8.
And you know, when they get the LSU guys back, you've got Odell and Grant Delpit and Greedy Williams. They're going to be even stronger going into camp next year.
Here got a quick jump with the flag thrown and passed to the sideline. It's late. So this was funny. So we're asking, obviously, Freddie Kitchens is over there on the Giants sideline. He's the head coach last year, and he's watching all this happen with Baker Mayfield. So we're talking to him. One of us asked, you guys in touch much? And Baker said, yeah, we stay in touch, kind of mess with each other, go back and forth. Then he just drops this one. My brother has a dog from a litter of puppies that Freddie had. Miles Garrett comes around the edge, and they converge on McCoy and get him for the sack. So finally, Garrett able to get into the sack column. Final half minute.
Yeah, well, he probably is going to tell you he needed that one, and that is what he's fully capable of doing. There aren't many guys that can make that kind of wiggle off the line of scrimmage, and this was a meeting of the quarterback right there.
We'll get a piece of that as well. Final seconds here. Pass by Slayton, heading for out of bounds. He's in bounds, and that will do it. The Cleveland Browns are a 10-win team, and that 17-year playoff drought is closer to being erased. They still have work to do, but these two gentlemen who were on the same freshman high school football.
Alright, everybody. We're going to play one more game. I think it's time to call it a night. And we'll get one.
Dispatch, this is 504, Bird Pursuit, over.
that area.
Mike. Good night. To everybody else, thanks for tuning in. To everybody else, thanks for tuning in. That's it. It's over. That's it.